So after my last video on how to fix the USA's economy, which you can view by clicking here, I saw a lot of ignorant comments in the comments section about welfare. They weren't new ignorant comments. They were the same ignorant comments about welfare that you hear on a daily basis. Apparently, there's nobody out there challenging people on their bullshit, thus allowing the virus of ignorance to spread. So I wanted to make a list of facts and talking points for progressives to combat these conservative talking, well, let's call them what they are. They're lies. So that way progressives, when talking at work at the water cooler, can stop ignorance dead in its tracks. So let's go down the list and tackle them one by one, shall we? Welfare ignorant comment number 1. Welfare spending is the reason that we're in debt. False. Now, let me ask you a question. If you had a choice between giving $1 to one person and getting $1.50 back, or giving $1 to a second person and getting 80 cents back, which would you choose? Hold that thought. According to usgovernmentspending.com, the federal government is committed to spending, by law, $557 billion in welfare spending in the fiscal year 2010. $557 billion. It's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Which, for one person, yeah, it would be. But for a federal government, not so much. Especially when you compare it with the $895 billion that we have committed to spend by law on defense spending, which I'm pretty sure does not include the $711 billion in defense spending covered under discretionary spending. You know, stuff like the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, and useless Cold War era technologies that we'll never use. Now, you have to look at what do you get in return for the money that you spend. Most economists, even conservative ones, agree on the following figures. Welfare spending has a fiscal multiplier of around 1.5, while military spending has a fiscal multiplier of 0.8. To which you might say, wow, you said some numbers. What does that mean? It means that for every dollar that our federal government spends into welfare, we get $1.50 back in terms of GDP. With military spending, with every dollar we spend, we get back 80 cents. Now that seems really stupid, and that's because it is. Which is why politicians have to wrap their defense of this disgustingly wasteful spending in patriotism and supporting the troops. Now how much money from that actually goes to supporting the troops? You know, like after they come back from getting shot at and having their legs blown off? Well, according to the government's own figures, we've only allotted $125 billion. And we all know about the staffing shortages and underfunding that goes on in the VA. So clearly, this is not about supporting the troops. Now for those who don't care about the cost of human lives and only care about the hard economics, I want to ask you again, if you had the choice between giving somebody $1 and getting back either $1.50 or getting back 80 cents, which would you choose? Now, for the humanitarians out there, if you had to choose between giving somebody $1 to feed their family, knowing full well that you would get back $1.50, or giving somebody $1 to have their legs blown off, knowing that you'd get back 80 cents, which would you choose?
I make t-shirts, do 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 do.